All right, we are very happy to have Gore Verbinski in to talk about his new movie, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. A man from the future arrives at a diner in Los Angeles where he must recruit the precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him in a one-night quest to save the world from a terminal threat of rogue artificial intelligence. Very happy to have you in, and it's happy to see a Gore Verbinski movie in theaters again.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It's been like close to a decade, I guess, now since your last movie. What made this script sort of stand out versus other projects that might have come across your desk?
I don't know. This was just, look around you. I think the world's screaming the answer, right? I mean, it's like, I think we all sense something is a little off and something's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got the update on your phone, but like everything is AI. And I'm like, stop.
No, you
And I get like some Encyclopedia Britannicas that are like pre-AI, just to have them before this weird 2%, course change, which I think is...
And just wait, they're going to have the AI versions of the Britannica encyclopedias coming to a store near you.
I think they already do.
Oh God.
I mean, it's all online. I don't think they make the books anymore. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And they'll have AI abridged versions of movies, which is why we both stock up on Blu-rays now, because we're like afraid of, because you see movies and TV now, they get abridged, episodes get removed, stuff gets taken out of movies. So like we want whatever pristine cuts we can get.
Greatest hits record of just scenes of
Yes.
movies.
Need that. And you got Sam Rockwell in this movie, who we are a huge fan of. How exciting is it to get to work with an actor like that? And do you have any favorites of your own from his filmography prior to...
Oh man. I mean, I've gotten to work with some great actors. I got to work with Michael Caine and
Of course.
Chris Walken and Gene Hackman, Johnny Depp, and now I get to say I've worked with Sam Rockwell. I mean, I think he's just a national treasure.
Yes.
Such a he brings so much energy, and having worked with him now, it's like he does the fucking work. He makes it look easy, but like, no, he does like all the work.
Yeah.
But he has that great, like, fuck it. He's got that great sort of fuck it energy. I don't know. He's like very, when I first read the script, I was like, it has to be Sam. Absolutely.
He has almost like this, it's like a combination of like Shakespearean, but everyman delivery. Where like, it's like a theater type delivery on stuff, but like, that's a guy I could know at the same time, which I think is pretty unique, right?
The first time we met for tacos in 2014, I felt like, that when you have friends from like elementary school, and then you have like other friends you meet later in life, but the friends from elementary school, you're like, you can be, you're fucked up. Or you can be like super honest with them.
Yeah.
Like they usually just have like kind of, and I felt like that way with Sam. Like we just feel like I've known this guy for a long time.
This movie, I think it leaves you with a lot to think about. Like, for example, when I got back from the showing, I was at dinner and I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, like I just watched a movie that just taught me why am I doing this? Like thinking of multiple scenes throughout it. What lessons do you hope people come away from the movie with?
Well, I don't know. I think it's kind of a date night movie. I think it's, go bring your friend to a movie, go and have some pie at Norm's and talk about it. I think it's anxiety reducing as much as it's bonkers. I do feel like I am guilty of that same thing. Wake up in the morning, pick up your phone, and you're just blasted in the face with like the worst news from all over the world.
Yeah.
And that is not good for the old noggin to just every day, like, what happened to just like a cup of coffee, your morning ablutions, no, we just wake up and you're like, what?
Email, Twitter, this, that. Yeah.
Totally tweaks your brain.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Also, you just brought up Norm's, which is the diner from the movie, which that's not a spoiler in the trailer. Is Norm's somewhere you go to regularly?
Yeah, I used to go there when I was, broke. I mean, you can get a good meal for very little. And when I was going to film school at UCLA, there was one on Pico that closed now, but and also one on La Cienega. Yeah, just it's kind of like it's pancakes and
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you have a go-to diner order?
Well, they have this like really good like jalapeno burger.
Oh,
It's pretty solid. They got chicken and waffles. It's Norm's.
yeah.
It's not like I was eating at. You guys have this restaurant El Buco.
Uh-huh.
I mean but Norm's has its Look, there's a reason our guys didn't go to the Navy SEAL Academy to find the heroes for this movie. They went to Norm's Diner. I mean, I kind of feel like that's where they are, the people who are going to save the world.
Exactly.
We actually have a coworker.
I was about
who,
to say.
This reminds me of, it just reminded me of it. A long time ago, we were talking about our go-to diner orders, and he said that his number one thing was to get I believe it was flounder stuffed with crab meat. And to me, I was like, you ordered fish at a diner. Like, there's a difference between diner food and restaurant food. And that to me was crazy.
He's a little
nuts, but
I like that. When I was in Serbia, I was like, they brought meat stuffed with meat wrapped in meat. Like, you would literally could not get a vegetable.
It's just all
like that's not even allowed in California.
With crab?
Yeah. The diner specifically, if you're at a seafood restaurant, I get it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I'd go there.
yeah.
I'd also add towards the end of this movie, and this has been true throughout your career, big creative swings in the third act. Is that something that do you have any hesitancy when you go into those third acts and start taking those big swings, or is it just are you fearless? Like,
I think you have to. I mean, and I think we just tinker with shit, and sometimes it blows up. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what they're doing in this industry. Like, what's supposed to work doesn't work. What works doesn't. Sometimes I remember, everybody thought we were crazy when we were doing a pirate movie. It hasn't worked in 30 years. You're insane. But I think that spirit of you don't like the wheels are going to fall off, like you don't know, is really where you want to be, because otherwise you should, I don't know, sell real estate for a living or something.
Yeah. And actually, there's a very good page on Twitter actually where it's like images that AI could never replicate. And it's just like things that like there's no way a computer could ever figure out the steps to get to this point. And I think a lot of moments in that third act actually resonate with that. Like there's no way a machine could ever think of things like this.
Well, it'll replicate, but the thing that it won't replicate is when we make a movie, we're desperately trying not to repeat ourselves. I mean, I think it'll like, it was a Chris Nolan movie. The AI, like, I'm going to make you a Chris Nolan movie, or a Fincher movie or whatever. But it's not like the directors are like desperately trying not to, come up with some sort of algorithm that they adhere to.
Yeah. You actually mentioned pirates before. Obviously, we're people with a human soul, so we love Pirates of the Caribbean. And we hear your name come across the desk. We'd love to come and talk to you. I read a lot a while back about how a lot of different actors were considered for the role of Jack Sparrow, among like Carrie Keaton, Walken, all these guys. What made Depp the guy versus some of the other people that tried out for the role, or maybe were considered for the role better?
The only time that came, I mean, the very first meeting we talked to Jerry about Johnny, well, there wasn't a list. That's interesting. There was a moment when the movie went down where Disney suggested, some people. But we stuck with Johnny. We just felt that was very, very early on. So I don't know. There was nobody we read for the part.
Okay. Oh, it's interesting because they said like they were considering Jim Carrey, they were considering Walken, they were considering these dudes. But
that might have been before me.
That might have been that would make more sense. Also,
no script. So I guess they were got it. They had a ride. And they were considering actors to make a movie about a ride.
Yeah,
that was before
They didn't even come in and read. They just had the actors get on the ride, and they're like, "Does this feel right?"
Yeah,
this looks right.
Do you look excited? Are you having fun? We were just talking about before. Apparently, this is again. You could tell us we're wrong. The Depp had said he wanted to have like no nose in the movie or something like that. That was true.
Yeah, I had to slow talk him out of that.
A little crazy for a family-friendly movie.
Yeah, well. I mean, we got away with a lot.
Yeah.
I think we were going to get away with that.
Yeah.
That would have been tough. Yeah.
And there was, you guys did get away with a lot. There's so many great sequences across that trilogy. And I have to ask, which one was, and this is kind of a basic question, which one was the hardest to film though? Because, there are some crazy big set pieces.
I mean, the first one was really under-resourced. So it was hard in the sense that they said no to everything. And then the second two were made at the same time. They were hard because if you're not making the studio nervous, you get really nervous. And like fundamentally, I think the first one, I felt like, okay, they're freaking out. We're in a good place.
Oh, all right.
Second two, like no matter what you're doing, they're like, just keep doing that. And you're like, okay, this is wrong. We need to like.
We're not pushing boundaries here. Yeah.
Exactly. So I had to kind of like fight to get back to that feeling of you're not sure if it's going to work.
It's kind of funny. We were just talking about it before. Also, the Pirates movies have a foundational part in both of our relationships. Like my now wife, she very intelligent person. History is a total blind spot for her, and so her only exposure to pirates was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
So once we were talking, I think we were watching Black Sails, which is a fantastic show about pirates. And I was talking about how, oh, this is a great show, interesting time period, blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, but that's all fake, right? I go, what do you mean? The pirates, they were fake. Because her exposure to it was only this like supernatural demons of the night, skeletons, things. And she thought like, oh, it's all made up. I'm like, wait till you hear it. They're still around today. And then you also had a crazy...
Somalia.
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend thinks like the end of 3 is like the most romantic scene ever put to cinema. She loves Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley on that beach.
Oh
yeah,
beautiful.
That's maybe a getting away with it.
Yeah,
probably right.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
Definitely.
So 2, I would say, is a movie that gets a lot of conversation now because of the world of VFX we live in now. And then you've talked about it recently, just how Unreal Engine and things like that have maybe hurt. Not even just hurt, but like the fact that everyone goes to a singular resource, which is video game based, gives it more video game feel.
A response to a question, like I think somebody was saying, why are visual effects not looking as good as Davy Jones when we should be advancing from that? I think that was the context of the question. And my response was, I mean, that I don't want to get too techie, but we use quite often use the Unreal Engine when we have to do like a lot of things quickly because it's super facile and it's a nimble tool. People want to stay in there to finish, but like you have this other software engine called Maya, which is just really much better at shadows and shading and lighting and photoreal aesthetics. And I think what's happening is people are just getting lazy. They're like either staying in Unreal to finish, or they're like we don't even most shows you don't even start. You just start in Maya, and you work slowly. You know you're going to be in the right tool for finishing. That's the simplest answer. We can go on and on and on about why.
Yeah,
I think also just the aesthetics of. I think a lot of superhero stuff is sort of like, that's fine. You're creating a world where like somebody can fly or whatever. You're like, that's that world. But it doesn't mean, Kubrick's not rolling over in his grave kind of going, well, that's not, and I think that starts to get into all kinds of things where just you can make a really good looking helicopter, but it shouldn't fly like that. Like it needs to buff it. It needs to kind of have mass, and you need to do all those things to kind of keep it honest. And I just generally try to have at least 50% of the frame photographic, so you have something to adhere to. You have these tools that can do anything. Sometimes anything is a problem because you don't have anything to anchor it to.
Yeah. I think something I've noticed, at least as a consumer in this world, is that there are certain directors that have a background in the field where I can depend on them for good VFX, at least good visuals in a movie. Like Neil Blomkamp, I think, is one. Gareth Edwards, Cameron. Like guys that all have the background in this field. And I think I don't know if you would agree with you, I don't know if there's a disconnect here between directors and VFX, because you obviously don't have that, because I feel like in your movies, especially if you look at Pirates, you have a very, I think, symbiotic look. And I read like you spend like 18-hour days in the editing bay and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so what do you think the sort of cohesion between those two, the director and that VFX department, should be like?
Well, I did a lot of visual effects supervision when I was first starting out. Like it was directing low budget music videos, but then my day job was being a visual effects supervisor on commercials and things like that. So, and I started out right at the beginning of digital optical. So there were still, I could go to places where they had, old school opticals and motion control rigs and learn from those guys who were sort of like the old dinosaurs fading away, and the new stuff was beginning, but the same principles apply. I mean, it's amazing as you get into the digital world. Trying to put something in front of or something behind something else, and you have occlusion and you have all kinds of interaction issues. The fundamentals are really the same. I think that's kind of an execution. You have the creative. You are kind of, first problem is like, what are you conceiving? Like if the three of us were sitting here and there was a fourth that was a talking frog with a cigarette and a martini, we'd want him to take the exact same light, we'd want to have the exact same reference to. So you have the kind of creative, what does that character look like, what is he saying, what is he interacting with, and then you have the visual effects process of like, how are we going to shoot that? I would typically also have some sort of practical thing that we would put here. It might have the skin or represent the color or the texture.
Sure.
Just so when we get in the computer, when we're in that situation, we're like, it doesn't look right. You can then pull out, like if I was going to make this cup dance, I would shoot the cup and then we'd shoot a plate and we'd have a CG cup, but I could always go, hold on.
Let's look at the
real
reference.
cup.
Yeah.
Your cup doesn't look like that. Like, and so I think having reference is really helpful.
Wow. And I'd be remiss if I did not. Sorry.
Check one.
Sorry, Mike's.
Would be remiss if I did not bring up one of my favorite animated movies of all time, and that is Rango. Is animation something you'd ever return to? Because it feels like you showed up and you just knocked it right out of the park.
Well, we didn't. It's a really interesting. It's a completely different process. I like it a lot. I mean, I think we made that movie Rango, not in the way you make an animated movie. We made that much more in the way.
It's called a motion capture, wasn't it? That's what I was reading about it.
Well, which is just a word we made up because we shot the actors together in a room rather than individuals. But also we kind of used the visual effects model. So on a film like Pirates, we have thousands of visual effects shots, and you have so everything is a kind of shot specific discussion. You have a construction of the next shot. In animation, you'll spend years kind of developing a story reel, doing all of these. You might make the movie 7 times. We kind of applied a visual effect. It was like, this is the shot, then this is the shot. It's exactly what's going to happen. And so we were able to build the entire film more specifically and then execute it at ILM. So it has a different look, but it also, that process didn't really apply the same. I don't know if I'm being clear. It didn't apply. I don't know how to make an animated movie, but I know how to make shots.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, and a story is shots. So I just went, let's go make a story of shots. And the one thing I did want to do is have all the actors in one place so that we can get a lively soundtrack. So it felt like it was all occurring because everything is, you have to manufacture anomaly.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not the norm at all, is it? In terms of voice actors recording in a room, usually they're all separated. So, do you think that adds to the performances? I mean,
I think both ways work. It's really what works for the director. I think whatever you're most comfortable with. I like intention and discovery. And I think those two things are powerful tools. If you don't have intention, you're gonna mediocrity sort of nipping at your heels the entire time. So intention might be, I've got this script. I want, it's just a bank heist. Is it going to be like an unusual bank? Like, how do you take a kazoo and make it a lobster phone or something? How do you make something silly into something absurd? Or, they're just little things you're doing all the time to kind of bring intention to it. And then you also want to go, okay, well, I don't want so much intention that I'm blinding myself to the gifts that may occur along the way. And that might be what an actor might do when he collides with another actor. Like, I didn't know you were going to say that. So, now I'm kind of awkwardly
serendipity.
Yeah. And then so you want to get that, you're a butterfly net. You want to capture those moments and make them authentic. And that's a kind of a back to Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I mean, that opening sequence with Sam was all about that. It was like, you don't usually start your movie with an 11-page opening monologue. So, intention, storyboarding, blocking it out, breaking it down. It's shots and sequences, how we're going to move around the diner, etc. But then also going, but it's Sam Rockwell. So like, don't box the guy in. Like, do it in a way that he can continue to surprise you.
How does that work too in a movie? I'm maybe curious how the shot order worked with this with Do You Luck to Have Fun, Don't Die? Because obviously you have like flashback sequences, but also you have to be able to build the chemistry between Rockwell and his crew. And so, like, did you shoot the diner first, or did you go back to it later?
Diner first
to get everything together.
Yeah, I mean, that was essential. That was the one. I kind of feel like the rest of the movie, I know how to make that diner monologue. We're sort of asking the audience what he's asking the patrons, which is, do you believe, are you going to come along for this ride? So if that doesn't work, we're doomed. I think getting that right was kind of the most important.
Oh, and it was so kinetic too. When he starts like jumping up on the tables and doing all these crazy flips and it was literally like an insanely choreographed sequence too.
Yeah, it's almost a musical number. It's not a musical number, but it's
got that feel to it for sure. Yeah. It was very, very cool. So we want to hit you with some rapid fire questions before we let you go. First one being, who is an actor that people may be surprised to hear audition for a role in one of your movies?
I wish I had a rapid fire answer. Wow. Surprised to audition for a role. I can't, I don't know. I mean, I've met a lot of actors for roles, but,
Sure.
but a lot of actors, I can reverse that question. I met a lot of actors for The Ring, and Naomi Watts read.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that was an interesting. So the studio wanted me to meet, Gwyneth Paltrow and a lot of different actors. I met, wonderful actors. But in that process, nobody wanted to, like, the agents are like, she's not reading. You'll have lunch, and in the meantime, Naomi put herself on tape, and I was like, well, that's her. And
yeah.
And then the agents are like, well, what happened? And they're like, well, somebody read the part. Like, if you're not willing to read for the part, you're not going to get the part.
Yeah.
And that was interesting because she was not a big name, and the studios were, a lot of people were sort of, well, we still want you to meet some other bigger names. And I sent that tape to Spielberg, and he was like, that's her.
I think that's pretty definitive for your studio too. Like, hey, Spielberg said
a little bit of an end around, get directly to the man.
But. If you could get a blank check to create any unrealized project, is there one that you have in mind?
Wow.
So like I got eye in the sky.
Yeah. No, I got a really crazy animated sci-fi musical.
I'm sold.
That we wanted to try to take the Rango and kind of push the boundaries. Called Cattywampus, that we recorded with a great cast: Anderson .Paak and her and Kenneth Williams and Ice Cube and Glenn Close. I mean, just really great cast. So we have everything's ready to go into animation. That one would be a great one to get a check. There's some other movies along the way, and BioShock would have been a good one.
Oh, BioShock would be sick, yeah.
That would have been really nice.
I think you had Gambit too at some points, right?
Yep, that was more of a flirtation.
Gotcha.
I don't think we were. That was a very short kind of what if.
Gotcha.
Exploration.
Yeah. Gotcha. What is one, if you could have one movie scene, because I think this happens with a lot of, not even just directors, but writers, whatever, any creative. If you could go back in time and redo a scene, maybe there's something where after it came out, you're like, I wish I tweaked this. I wish I moved this after everything was already out. Is there one scene you would change in retrospect?
God, everything. I mean, you're never, it is like they take the movie away, at some point they come out. Wow. I think I made it, my second film was called The Mexican, and I think I could have worked more on the script, I think, prior to, or it was a weird one because it cast up really big right at the last minute. We were scouting, we're going to make this little kind of Shaggy Dog a narrative, and then at the last minute it was like Brad
Pitt.
Julia Roberts, and it was like, hindsight would say this movie cannot hold that. Like they're not together. Yeah, he's in Mexico, she's like, they're not even on screen together for most of the movie. There's things that you start to learn, like, okay, there are expectations when you cast a movie like that.
Yeah.
That you can't just put upon a certain. I think a lot of people were also, it was sort of sold as something that, anyway,
that happens a lot.
I think we were very happy with the screenplay, Joel Weinman's screenplay. We really enjoyed it, and we were kind of like, okay, we believed in it, and then something in the process was like, it tilted a little bit.
We talked about Pirates of the Caribbean earlier. Talked about the theme park ride. If there was another theme park ride that you legally had to make a movie about,
oh my God,
is there one? Are you a theme park ride guy at all?
Not really.
Had you been on the ride before you did the?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was like 6 years old when I was on that ride. I loved that ride. I don't think it's so much that would be like an IP question. Like, is there IP you're interested in?
I think it's harder though.
It's just a weird brand of IP though. You know what I mean?
I know. I think that was more the case of like, do you want to make a pirate movie? Like when Jerry Bruckheimer said, we'd talked for the years about doing things, and he said, how about a pirate movie? And I'm like, yes.
Okay.
So, and then it was like, and the excuse is, it's based on a ride. Like,
Yeah.
we're actually going to get the funding because it's based on a ride, but don't worry about that. We're making a pirate movie.
So then how about, if not pirates, if not Westerns, is there another time period or, knights, samurais? Is there any kind of other era or setting you would want to go into? Yes.
Yeah. All of those. I mean, sci-fi is I'm a fan of sci-fi,
sure.
but it's kind of like it's kind of a Western, really. That frontier. Then I think pirates is sort of a Western too in some ways, a Western on water.
I don't know. Someone's having a good time out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I like things I don't know how to do as well. I mean, I like those genres, but I would make a rom-com. Like,
Sure.
if it was a good one, like if it was.
We need more of them.
We do.
I don't know. I think it just has to speak. You have to answer that question. Why must I tell this story? Like, if you can't answer that question, you have no business, because you're going to be 30 days into it. They shoot going. You're asking people to follow you through the jungle with a machete, and the crew's they're going to see it's not there.
You don't have a map.
If you're not like, this is what we're doing, like, I have to do this, and if you have to do it, you'll do it with, sock puppets and the lights you can carry in a station wagon. You'll figure out a way to do it. And that's kind of what we had to do with this one. I mean, it was really, I think Sam's, Jack is
it's so cool. It's so cool.
It's like a metaphor for the whole movie. And we had to go to Apex Electronics and picking out little pieces. We had to make that thing ourselves. Like, the whole movie was handcrafted.
That's like a shower curtain, right? The actual object part. That's so cool. What is a movie or show that you like that you think deserves more love or more adulation, I guess?
I really liked this show called Patriot. It
was so good. Didn't the writer of
The Weatherman, yeah. Conrad's show.
Really good.
Like, really, I just loved it.
Yeah, Amazon has a Prime show. That was a really good show. I remember that got recommended to me as kind of the same thing you're saying, where it's like very underappreciated. Not enough people were seeing them. Like, all right, I'll try it out. And I was glued.
Yeah, same cinematographer who did. So it was interesting because I called Steve and I said, hey, who was your cameraman on Patriot? Because I thought you guys did some great work. And he said, it's your guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And it's James Whitaker, who I had done a music video with for Crystal Method like 200 years earlier.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to reconnect with James.
I knew there was a connection to the movie. I was just like, wait, what was it? I remember seeing the Patriot while I was doing IMDb research, whatever. Yeah, that's awesome.
And you bring up music videos. We'll close it out here. You started, I think, early in your career making music videos. Is there any artist or band today that you would want to, go back and do that for?
Oh, wow. Wow.
We don't have a lot of rock bands anymore.
Yeah, and there's not, and I don't know that people watch. Do people watch music videos? I guess
I feel like
on YouTube.
Yeah, there's some that like really stand out, but it needs to be like an exceptional thing. But not a lot of people.
Yeah. I keep MTV Classic on in my home when I'm just working from home, and that's just nice. But yeah, it's all 80s and 90s and some 2000s. But
yeah, I don't. I like so many different. All the music videos I would want to do would be like for some dead artist or something.
If you could resurrect someone.
Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to like a lot of like Nigerian funk from the 70s.
Nigerian funk.
Fela Kuti and Tony Allen and it's, I don't see music videos from that period. So if I could go back in time, I'd try to shoot one of those.
It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of, I think, like directors that get their start in music video directing. It's kind of interesting how that medium sort of shifted, and also actors like
Glazer for doing Zone of Interest and having done the Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai
music
something
video.
Reality. What is it?
Yeah, virtual
insanity.
Yeah,
that's an amazing music video too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of tools you can explore. It's interesting how I think there was like, if you go back to like Ridley, it was like the first round of like commercial directors who started doing movies.
Yeah.
And then there was like second round, I think, with David Fincher and some, and people doing some music videos into commercials, into features was a path. And then I think now there's a lot more from the writing side.
Sure.
I'm writing. It's like, I sold a script, I sold another script. And by the third one, I'm negotiating to direct it.
Yeah. Look at Sheridan. Great example. Like Sheridan basically runs Paramount now, now I guess Universal. But him. I mean, I think McGee did music videos too. I think there's a couple other random directors.
Oh yeah.
You did the Budweiser Frogs commercial, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ages and ages ago. Absolutely iconic stuff. But again, good luck, have fun, don't die. I think a movie like, again, like I said when I was asking questions earlier, it's a movie that really sticks with you. You think about it a lot after you leave, which is, I think, more than you can say about a lot of movies that come out. Really appreciate that. And I think you're going to go home, you're going to sit at dinner like I did, and you're going to be like, take out your phone and like mindlessly doom scroll, and you're going to be like, let's take some time and actually live and experience stuff for a little bit. But it's really fun. Make sure you watch it. Thank you so much, Gore, for hanging out with us.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.